Good morning, second grade. Since we've been talking about all of the states in the United States of America, I'd like to read this book called The Scrambled States of America to you all. Hi there, I'm Sam. I'm assuming since you opened this book that you're in the mood to hear a story. Well, you're in luck because I have a story for you. It's a little story about this fine country of ours. I bet you thought you'd heard them all, but not many people know this one. Let me tell it. Oh, let me. No, you two. That is part of my job. Now get back to your places. We're about to start the story. Let's give them a couple seconds to get back into position. 1001, 1002, 1003. Okay, turn the page. Well, it was just your basic ordinary day in good old US of A. States all over the country were waking up, having their first cup of coffee, reading the morning paper, and enjoying the beautiful sunrise. All of the states except, that is, for Kansas. He was not feeling happy at all. How do I know this? Because he said, "I'm not feeling happy at all." "What's wrong?" his best friend Nebraska kindly asked him. Nebraska is a very kind state. "I don't know," moaned Kansas. "I just feel bored. All day long we sit here in the middle of the country. We never go anywhere. We never do anything. We never meet new states." Said Nebraska. "Don't get me wrong, Nebraska. You're the best friend a state could have. But don't you ever want more? Don't you ever want to see what else is out there?" Yes, I do," Nebraska said excitedly. "And now that you've mentioned it, I'm sick and tired of hearing North Dakota and South Dakota bicker all the time." "I have a great idea," exclaimed Kansas. "Let's have a party and invite all the other states. You know, one of those get-to-know-you deals. Everyone can bring a favorite dish. We could have music and dancing." "That's a great idea," shrieked Nebraska. "I wish I'd thought of it myself." So with a little help from their neighbors, Missouri and Iowa, those wacky little Midwestern states planned the biggest party ever. They sent out invitations and blew up balloons. They even hired a band to play. "What type of music do you play?" "Oh, yes, I love accordions." At last, the big day came, and little by little the states arrived at the party. Nebraska and Kansas were on the welcoming committee. Iowa was in charge of coats, and Missouri and Illinois passed out name tags for each state to wear. Within minutes after their arrival, the states began making friends with each other. They spent hours talking, laughing, dancing, and singing. It was long into the evening when Idaho and Virginia got up on stage. "Excuse me," Idaho said politely. Idaho is a very polite state. "Sorry to interrupt, but Virginia and I were talking. We thought it might be fun if she and I switched places. You know, so we could see a new part of the country." "Yes," Virginia chimed in. "We thought maybe all of you might want to try it. What do you think?" A wave of excitement swept the room. "Oh, yes, what a grand idea. We should have done this years ago." They could hardly wait. Immediately, the states made their plans to switch places. They said their goodbyes and went home to pack. It took the better part of the next morning for all the states to move to their new spots. But finally, they were settled in. All of the states were much happier now that they were by their new neighbors and in a new part of the country. Oh, yes, this was much better arrangement. But after a couple of days had passed and all the excitement had died down, the states began to realize they weren't as happy as they thought. Florida, who was switching spots with Minnesota, was freezing in the frosty northern climate. And Minnesota, who forgot to buy sunscreen, got an awful sunburn. Youch! Alabama, New York, and Indiana, all of whom took California's place, were bothered by an annoying rumbling sound that kept them up all night. Arizona, who had traded places with South Carolina, was upset because the ocean waves kept ruining her hairdo. Alaska, who had been wanting a little more interaction with the other states, was irritated by Oklahoma's handle jabbing into his left side and Michigan's thumb tickling his right. So it doesn't seem like that was a good idea after all. And worst of all, Kansas, who switched with Hawaii because he was sick of being stuck in the middle of the country, was now stuck in the middle of nowhere, feeling lonely and seasick. In the middle of nowhere, feeling lonesome and seasick, my guitar is soggy and I feel so blue. And Hawaii was longing for some peace and quiet, like in the good old days. Well, there was no question in any state's mind about what to do. Everyone wanted to go home. So even faster than they made their first trip, they packed up their things and hit the road. Yes, my name is Illinois, and I need a 1 airline ticket to, Illinois. No, the S is silent. As the sun set across the country, all the states from A to W were back in their very own homes. The states were so happy to see their old friends again. They spent the entire evening sharing their new experiences with each other, the good and the bad. That night, all the states in the country went to bed feeling happy about their new friends they had made, but most of all, feeling thankful to be home. And that is the end of the book. So this was just kind of a silly book, talking about different states and talking about how important it is that they remain where they are for many reasons. So what I would like you guys to do next is to begin your states project. So now you are going to be choosing a state and you're going to be doing research about that state to find out more information and create a little PowerPoint. I will go into further details during class, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. That's what you are looking at next. Thanks. Have a great day.